Black community and the Hispanic community have been at odds for a long time. And with the ICE raids happening around the country, in particular in LA, Black people are not ashamed to tell Latinos how they really feel. For those of them who are getting deported back to their original countries, Black people are like, bye bye. But in certain parts of the country, Blacks and Mexicans don't have a big issue. And that's like in Northern California or even in certain parts of Texas. Now, Texas does have a lot of Hispanics and a lot of Blacks, but in certain partitions, Blacks and Mexicans run together. Now, like I said, this is something to be seen in Northern California, like in Sacramento, where I'm from, where Blacks and Mexicans typically have a close relationship. And sometimes you can get Mexicans and Black gangs or vice versa. And so Mexicans can get a pass to a certain degree. And that is where we get a guy like Mexican OT. Now, if you look at Mexican OT, from what I can see from the guy, he's not like your typical Hispanic type rapper. He looks like a guy that, he definitely is Mexican, but I mean, he got a grill. He seems like he got a shag. I mean, he kind of maybe raps on the same style of flow from what I can tell, like a Black dude. But there's an issue. He uses the N-word. Recently, he was on a podcast with Angela Yee, and he was confronted about it.
Do you feel like you could say the N-word?
I feel like I can say it, but not because of that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Mm-hmm. What the are you gonna do about it?
But wait, there's more.
I grew up loving these motherfuckers. I grew up fighting with them. I grew up eating with them. I grew up doing bad with them. I grew up loving with them. I got family. And it's not even about family. Even if I wasn't related to nobody out Black, I mean, it's what the I was surrounded by,
Now, Mexican OT said, hey, the reason why I use the N-word, it's not because I'm being disrespectful. I grew up with these dudes. Like, I admire these dudes. I mean, I went to war with these dudes. Like, I'm from the same places that they're from too. Now, it's interesting because, again, he does play the Mexican card, the Mexican flag and all of that. But you can look at him and tell that, hey, there is some level of Black influence in what he does. And the internet is divided on if he should be able to say the N-word or not.
If you are not Black, you cannot use the N-word. I am an unambiguous Afro-Latina. I am a Black woman. And if I had a cousin that looked like Mexican OT Genesis, which I have, if any of them said the N-word, I'm slapping the shit out of them on sight. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm not even thinking twice about it. And you know why? Because that word was reclaimed by Black people. Someone is telling you that something is offensive, and you were like, oh, well, what are these N-words gonna do about it? That's crazy disrespectful. I'm not mad at Cleotrapa for asking the question because I feel like Cleotrapa is the only one in that room that had enough cojones to ask. Now, Angela Yee, this is her show. This is your show. And on top of it being your show, it's not like you're a nobody. It's not like you're not connected. So you could have easily checked him and been like, oh, you need to get out of here. We're not going to continue. The men that was with him, I find it to be equally disturbing that none of them said anything. Nobody said anything to this guy, at all. Nah.
So there is an Afro-Latina lady who was like, hell to the no. Listen, this dude don't have any reason to be out here using the N-word, okay? Not at all. Then you have people like Azalea Banks. She says this on a tweet. No, everyone in the world can say and do what they want, and Black people really have no reason to be upset about it as offensive while we run around calling each other such an ugly word because we can't expand our vocabulary. If we want people to let it go, we have to do so first. African people do not use that word.
Stop the cap.
Then you got people on the same side as Mexican OT.
Bro, man, I'm tired of these motherfuckers that's not from Texas, steady speaking on Texas business, man. Everybody say down here. Everybody. Especially all Hispanics, don't matter if you goddamn Puerto Rican, Dominican, Mexican, El Salvador, man. You locked in with the Blacks, man. You around, see us Blacks, man. we raised around Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? In every neighborhood, goddamn me, it's a couple Mexicans, goddamn, or Hispanics, motherfuckers, this on our block. And so we growing up with these motherfuckers childhood, since little boys, since little girls. You know what I'm saying? And we so locked in, y'all from up north wouldn't understand it because it ain't. I ain't gonna say it ain't no Hispanics, but it's racially divided down here. We like this. We locked in, my. Since middle school, high school, we getting invited to quinceañeras and tamale trucks and shit, motherfucker, come ride through on the little bike with the little.
This is a guy from Texas saying, "Listen, man, we don't even need y'all in our business all like that. Like, we grew up with them, you know, they grow up with us, you know, we like family, so why can't they say it? I mean, they've accepted us, so it should be okay." Now, there was a Hispanic guy who brought up some very interesting points.
What I want to speak on is that when it comes to referring to your friends as a Hispanic, you really don't have to use that word. I mean, we have so many other words. We refer to people as pa. We refer to people as my boy, what's cracking my boy. We refer to people as foo, what's up foo. And ese, vato, pops. I don't know if other cultures use pops. I've only really had my Hispanic homies call me pops. But yeah, we just have so many other phrases that we could use besides that word to refer to our friends.
And a guy said something that was interesting. He says, listen, I mean, like, I'm not here to really comment on if it's right or wrong for him to say whatever he's going to say. That's up to him. But as far as referring to Mexicans or anybody else, there are many terms that we could use to basically distinguish ourselves. We have many different ways to show we are friends. Like, we don't need to use that word because in our slang, we have many different ways to call each other a name. So that's the problem that he has with it. But the person who went and said the most was Sauce Walker.
Oh, hey man, say man, I be trying my best to stay out of subjects like this and rant like I used to, but this one really be bothering me. Mexicans, Hispanic people, and the word, and people using the word, they're of Latin descent, specifically. Mother said, I sound dumb as hell for saying, to say that a Mexican or Hispanic person can't say, use the word in fellowship is like saying Mexicans telling us we can't eat a taco. We can't eat tacos. The comment said, how can you compare a derogatory racial word to a food? How do you racially disrespect a white person? What do you call them? What is a food, dumbass? What do people call Mexicans when they be disrespecting them? Tacos, burrito, wet food, disrespectful. Racism is racism no matter how you put it, man. And if we're gonna talk about it, the most disrespectful racist mother on earth. We hate ourselves more than we hate anybody. Rob, steal from, don't support, don't help others. See 10 in the middle of the street, mother getting ate by a mother grizzly bear and keep running. A white person to jump out and try to fight a Mexican to try to stab them. Don't put out their phone and record you die and suffer for views. But you have the audacity to say that Hispanic people shouldn't say the word.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the f you think you is?
But wait, it gets worse.
Second of all, the word has already been converted into a word of love, a word of companionship, a word of brotherhood, fellowship. It's not been a derogatory racist word in so long. Yes, coming out of a certain white person's mouth in a certain way, yes, man, I feel more disrespected than for a white person calling you a boy. So at the end of the, some real shit, y'all be doing that shit for the internet, and I hate this shit, bro, because y'all don't really give a f about. That's the part that irks my soul the most. And then, how do you disrespect the Asian person? What they call them? Fried rice, egg, same. So don't ever say that comparing it to food is not the same. Yes, it is, you dumbass. You the dumbass, idiot. I love Hispanic. anime, Japanese, Chinese. I love all people. People need to love people. Yes, we have been done wrong, but a lot of people have been done wrong as well. Yes, we have not got our reparations and our blessings back for what we have been through in this world. But when you talk about Hispanic people, I feel the same type of way, because why? Hispanic people built America just like we built America. America was built on the blood of Hispanics just like it was built on the blood of the black man and the Indian man. So at the end of the day, all that is bullshit. And it's y'all for that dumbass systematical racism that make us hate each other. I understand that dumb they're going to California, how they feel and all that, and that's dumb in a bitch too, because right now everybody should be supporting Hispanics that have came over to America and helped build this country and ain't did nothing wrong to you.
Now, Sauce Walker is saying, listen, we do this to ourselves. You know, we're the ones out here, you know, they built this country along with us and all of that. Like, this is the case that he's trying to make for himself. Again, selling out, right? But check out what the Afro Latina sister says.
We wouldn't go up to his people and his family and be like, oh, son mojados, which means. So why are you in a room of black people saying the N-word so comfortably? And then you know you're wrong because you're like, oh, well, what are they going to do about it?
Now, she says something that's very interesting. She says, you can't go to their community and use a term like wet B, okay? You can't say that. Now, while you're letting them say the N-word, you know better than to go over there and call them that, right? And even though the N-word can be used as a term of endearment from people in our community, you could never use the term wet B as a term of endearment, because that will cost you maybe your life over there. And that's the point that she's trying to make. Like, we're accepting disparity from other groups. They would never let you get away with that. And that's the whole problem with black people. We like to allow people to do stuff to us, but if we were to call them the same thing that is negative, they'd have a problem with it. And that's why the Black and Brown Coalition is whatever it's supposed to be called. It's at a rocks right now, or it doesn't exist right now, because we allow this particular group to do whatever they feel like doing, and we don't put no parameters on them, but they put all the parameters on us. Even when you go to jail, when the blacks or Hispanics in jail, blacks don't like snitching, right? But the Hispanics can snitch on blacks. They can't snitch on each other, but they can snitch on blacks. So we're already not playing fair. So how often can you compete with a group that's not playing fair with you, but you're allowing them to come into your culture, into your community, you know, and basically steal some of your style to do whatever they want to do, and you're down bad. At this point, like, blacks gotta kind of really wake up. Like, at what point do you wake up and to say, listen, hey, we can be friends, we can be family, but you using the N-word, that's offensive. Like, we gotta stop the cap on that, okay? Using the N-word, it don't make no sense. Please stop it. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. Usually, for all you do, subscribe to the bell. We're out.